Howdy, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another installment of WiFCE Days of Decision 3 combined playthrough. Let's get right into it. Starting money for the major powers are Germany has 3, Japan has -1, Italy has -1, the USSR has 0, Commonwealth has 4, France has 0, USA has -1, and China has 1. Should be a 1, not a -1. Okay, so I've already done, we've only got 2 major powers bidding this turn, basically because of the lack of funds. We have Germany bidding 1, and we have Japan bidding 1. Japan is going to get bonus bid points because last turn she bid but did not get a chance to play a political option. So she will get an extra 2 bid points for that. So let's calculate the mean. And Germany bid 1. She's in first place. That gives her a +4 for 5. Japan bid 1. She's in third place. That gives her a +3, plus 2 additional bid points because her political initiative is 2, for a total of 5, plus the initial 1 is 6. So Japan is going to go to first. Germany is going to go to second, and that's where the last card will be. And the other major powers going to look something like, let's see, so we have a tie between, well, the French are at 3, so they will be third. We have a tie between the Commonwealth and Italy. They're both at 2. And come over here. Commonwealth's political effectiveness is a 3. Italy's political effectiveness is a 3. So that's tied again. So when you have a tie and a tie, it's broken by the current order that they're in. So Commonwealth will be 4th, Italy will be 5th. We have another tie between the USSR and the United States. The US's political effectiveness is a 2, and the Soviet's political effectiveness is a 4. So that breaks the tie. So the Soviet Union will go before the US in 6, and the US will be 7th, and China will be 8th. Japan is up. She has opted for the Tianjin crisis. Let's take a look at what that is. Japan's initiative position is less than CW, France, and the US, and Japan is at peace with the Commonwealth and the US. Well, Japan's number 1, so that takes effect. Okay, the effects are going to be this: Commonwealth provides a Malayan resource to Japan while they are not at war with each other. Here are the minor effects: Argentina +1, Chile +1, Iraq +1, Netherlands -1, Portugal -1, Siam +1, Venezuela -1. The US entry is a +5, and it costs 2 money. I've done all that already. So all Japan has to do now is activate a minor. And I think the minor they're going to activate is Portugal. So there's a -1 for Japan and Portugal, as well as a +1 for the US and a +1 for Great Britain. So basically, these markers are not going to move the Portuguese marker at all anyways, so they're all just going to get blown off. And the last thing we do is we see if Japan ends the political phase. Been no previous political options played, so the die roll to end the political phase is a 1. 7. So looks like Germany will get a turn. Germany has decided to go with minor economic agreement. This option may not be played against minor powers that are at war or already in a civil war. That doesn't apply to Romania because that's the country we're going to make the agreement with. To make the economic agreement, the major's initiative must be less than or equal to the minor's willpower. Well, Romania's willpower is a 4. Germany is in the number 2 position, so that's less than, so that qualifies. There's no U.S. entry. That's a 0. I already paid the money. And now Germany gets to activate a minor, and she's going to activate Romania. The markers in Romania are a 1-point Soviet and a 3-point German. So normally it costs 2 points to go from one hex to another in the neutral zone, but Romania has an alliance with France. You can see that over there on that display. And the alliance, France, the French marker is an alliance for Romania. So that adds 1 to the cost to move away from a major power that the minor is aligned with, which is Romania. So it will cost 3 points to go into this hex. And the 1-point Soviet is blown off. The initiative roll was a 9 for the USSR, a 7 for the fascists, and a 1 for the democracies. Well, the Soviets have decided they're going to go last, so the fascists are going to go second, and the Democrats are going to go first. The weather roll was a 10, and for the May-June, a 10 is fine weather everywhere. The impulse marker will move up 1. And reinforcements, let's go over to the reinforcement chart for May-June. Reinforcements for this turn are kind of slight. We have the Admiral Shear, which came out of the repair pool. That will go on board. We have the Commando, which will go into the construction pool. And we have the carrier Soryu for Japan, which will go into the construction pool as well. The Democrats really didn't do a whole lot during their turn. They don't really have too much to do right now. They're kind of waiting for convoy points and tanker points to arrive so they can bring in resources that don't have those convoy pipelines to them yet. So we'll move on to the fascist impulse. We're going to go down to Ethiopia. The Italians really want to get this done. So let's see, perform actions, port attacks. There's no port attacks. Naval movement, I don't have any naval movement. Naval combat, no. Strategic bombard, ground strikes. So we're going to use the 1 air unit. We're going to try and ground strike the 2 units in Addis Ababa. There are 2 units there. There's a Ethiopian militia and the Ethiopian headquarters, Selassie. So it's basically the ground strike works something like this. You take the 2 factors on the bomber, the tactical attack factors, and that's what you need on a die roll to flip either of those 2 units. So we got 2 dice. Say the red dice is the top one, and the white dice is the bottom one. The top one was the militia. Well, that's typical. That's typical. So he goes back, flips over, put those guys back in their hex. Now what we got here for an odds, we got that's 7 here. Not counting the artillery, we got 8 there's 15. The mechanized unit is attacking across the river, so that's going to be halved, so that's 2.5 points, so that's 17.5 points to 4, doubled to 8. So it's going to be 2 to 1. I think we're going to bombard with the artillery as well. Alright, so we'll do the same thing again. The red die is the and the artillery bombards with the 2 attack factors, and it works the same as a ground strike mission with the air unit. So the red will be the militia. Typical. Missed. I'll calculate something here. Well, the Italians are going to go for it anyways. So we got a 2 to 1 attack. The Ethiopians, because they're defending a capital city and we're in the mountains, get to decide whether to use the assault table or the blitzkrieg table. So the blitzkrieg table at 2 to 1, I really don't think it makes much difference. For 2 to 1 in the assault table, I think it's a little more bloody for the attacker on the assault table. So yeah, we're going to go for that, the assault table. The Italians are going to allocate their HQ for HQ support, which is going to end up flipping him over. So that's 2 points. Use the reorg value for HQ support. It's the attacker's reorg value, and if the defender uses their HQ, which they're going to in this case, minus the defender's reorg value, which is a 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, and you divide by 4. That comes out to 0.25. Rounding it brings it to 0, so there will be no modifier. So it's going to be a 2 to 1 straight up. Let's see what we get. Roll the die, and it comes up to a 9. Let's see what 9 is on the assault table. It's a pretty good roll. 9 on the assault table is a 1. No losses for the attacker, 1 loss for the defender, and 1 shattered result. Let's go back over here. So there we go. Ended up over the Caucasus for some reason. Okay, so the loss will take the militia, and the shatter result is going to put him to arrive as a reinforcement next turn. But unfortunately, the Italians will be able to occupy the hex. And that's it for Ethiopia. The turn ended up going 22 impulses. And the weather for the last turn ended up being complete and total garbage. We ended up with snow in the Arctic, storm in North Temperate, rain in the Mediterranean, fair in North Monsoon, storm in South Monsoon, and rain in South Temperate. Really late storm going on there. I guess it can happen in May, sorta, even though it's kind of end of the turn. So, for production, we had one small change in production. Germany is now, because of the additional Romanian oil, at 7. Japan's still at 3. The addition of the Malaysian resource didn't change their production. Italy's at 2. The Soviets are at 3. Commonwealth at 5. France at 2. USA at 3. And China is at 1. Germany, Japan, the Soviet Union, Commonwealth, and the USA all saved oil. So for production, what got spent is Germany spent 2, and she laid down the carrier Graf Zeppelin. The Soviets spent 2 and built an infantry army. It's an infantry army. It's that guy right there. The Commonwealth went nuts and built a pilot, convoy point, tanker point, built a cruiser, laid down a cruiser, built a combat air group, built a territorial, and pulled the Valiant out of the repair pool. The French built 2 convoy points, and the Communists built a really cheap Cav Corps, Communist Cav Corps, for China. So that wraps up production. I'll get these on the chart, and that will be basically it for this turn. Thanks for watching.